So there is something big that we got to talk about here. WWE can have all the sponsorships they want, but right now it seems like that the house is on fire. That is what it sounds like right now. We have seen the releases that have come. Now that's nothing new. WWE has made releases before, but to continue to make more releases with as many cutbacks as they have and jacking up the prices for tickets as they have, WWE has not been building up a lot of goodwill. They have been losing a lot of goodwill with how high the prices for their tickets have been. That has driven people to think about if they can afford to actually pay that ticket, especially for the prices they've had for Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, what they charged, and why they canceled going to New Orleans to go back to Vegas to probably charge the same amount of pricing, why they have decided to let go of R-Truth, because I'm sure that R-Truth had been paid a lot of money for his longevity with the company, and things like that, and it was someone who deserved to be paid that. R-Truth deserved to have his money to be paid for, because he was one of the best, parts of the entertainment part of World Wrestling Entertainment, because R-Truth is funny, and he put a smile on people's faces, and, so you deserve to be paid well for that. Next, it cannot be, I have seen 2 or 3 people talk about this. It's just a rumor right now. I don't know if there's any confirmation of it, but apparently TKO might be asking Roman Reigns to take a pay cut. Now, I'm sure Roman Reigns gets paid very well. And to someone like you or me, a pay cut really is probably no big deal. It's like, yeah, whatever. I've got enough money. But I can imagine that to someone like Roman Reigns, and I don't want to make speculation, but if I can make this assumption here, that he would probably want to, be thinking to himself, I've got my family to provide for. I've got this lifestyle that I'm living here. I don't know what Roman Reigns' house looks like. I don't want to make assumption that it's, rich mansion or whatever. But I could assume that he would find that quite insulting. To be like, yo, you want me to take a pay cut? It's like, I've busted my ass for this company for this long, and hell, I'm one of the biggest stars that y'all got, that people will always be talking about me, and you want me to take a pay cut? And then, I don't mean to turn this into a, WWE versus AEW thing. And I don't know if Tony Khan would pay Roman Reigns, but if you want him, but I could imagine that could open a potential possibility for Roman Reigns to think, I don't know if Roman Reigns and Mercedes are friends, but, you think about it. People got paid big bucks to go to AEW. And WWE did not want to pay people like Will Ospreay, Kazuchika Okada, or Mercedes Moné, because they thought, hey, we're the biggest company in the world. Why would you not want to come work for us so we don't have to pay you high money? That's one of the reasons why some of them did not sign with WWE. WWE did not make a high offer like AEW did. And that's some of the most insulting things out there. You have a company like WWE who likes to talk about how much money they make, but they don't want to spend the money. And then they're like, oh shit, now we're going to ask Roman Reigns to take a pay cut, which Roman Reigns, I would imagine, might find that a bit insulting, and it might lead him to think about alternative options. Now, at the same time, I have heard that Roman Reigns may, start slowing down more in like about a year or two to just, take more time off, maybe leave professional wrestling. Don't know how that's going to look. But maybe, he might think about, well, what could I make over at All Elite Wrestling? Maybe I can get in touch with Mox and, see what Tony Khan would pay me. it would be something that might slip into people's minds about thinking about money, and especially the schedule that AEW has. Sorry, I'm gonna shut up. I don't want to turn this into a pro AEW. Let's get everybody here. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I apologize. I've also heard from today that TKO, and I've only heard this from about 2 or 3 people so far. I have not really been on social media much, but I've heard this. So, just a small rumor that I've heard. Don't want to confirm it for fact. Take it as you will. TKO, $3 billion in debt. Billion. Not a million. Billion. How in the fuck did that even happen? Like, I don't understand, man, but it is not looking good for WWE. See, even if these things are not factual and they're just rumors, it's not good to have these types of rumors floating around like this here. It's not. It's not good publicity for them to have this type of shit happening. It's just not. It just looks like that the house is on fire. I don't care how many sponsorships you have around your fucking pro wrestling ring. I don't care how many deals that you have. When you had the big Netflix deal and you had the high viewership, and now your viewership for Netflix has gone down. I don't care that USA Network is, satisfied enough with SmackDown with the viewership for 3 hours. SmackDown viewership still sucks ass, but USA Network doesn't have to care too much. Things do not look good for WWE right now. I'm not saying that they're going to go out of business. I'm not saying that they're not going to remain the number one, most known professional wrestling company in the world. Not saying that. I'm not saying any of that. But right now, things are just not moving in a good direction for WWE. And, maybe some out there will be like, oh, that's great. You're the pro AEW guy, so that's going to be good for you. I honestly, a little bit, I guess it's good. Because, yeah, maybe that'll mean more people might tune into AEW. But unfortunately, for some people, they don't want to watch AEW. For some reason, some people just consider WWE to be still the only pro wrestling they can watch. I see so many people like, man, if WWE goes down, I got nothing. I got no pro wrestling to watch. And sometimes I just see that on social media. I'm like, have you tried AEW, or are you just so only WWE that it's them or nothing? I was like, you need to break that stigma for yourself. You need to, look outside the bubble a little bit there. Try other promotions. Try something else. But anyways, I don't want to turn this into a pro AEW talk too much. I felt like I needed to make a video about this. Because it's big news. Or big rumors, I should say. Can't make any confirmations, but things just do not seem to be moving in a good direction for WWE right now. And that's bad for them. Very bad.